Okay. Okay. Now, I just want to give you more detailed outline of what you are going to have when you go back in and present it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, so then every day we need to present what we've looked at that day. So one person's prepared, or?
Well, I mean, you should all be prepared, but I mean, one person, and you can go from you to you to you to you. I mean,
Yeah.
But the group, the first one to do the presentation is going to be him, and then based on your own appetite, that's for you guys to decide, not me. Okay. We have 15 people in the room. That accumulative knowledge is as close as I can get to your dream teams that you'll either have or you're going to have. Okay. Whereas the dream teams are going to be 4 to 7 people, something like that. They will have decades of knowledge, as opposed to the kids that are in the room, yourself included. You only have years of knowledge, not decades of knowledge. But between the 15, you may have some fraction thereof of what the dream team is. Okay. Now, when you go in and make your presentation, whether you should can it, buy or sell, depending on which it is. In this particular case, it's a buy, but there are a few of them sell. You will make the presentation on the board in front of everybody, and we'll open it up to questions and comments. Now, I guarantee that the kids in there, outside this group, will think of things you didn't think of. That's just life. I'm sure I will think of things that you didn't think of either. And that's what your board dream team is supposed to do. Okay? So they'll say, well, what about that? And what about that? And what about that, Jay? Okay. When you're making the presentation. So at the end of the presentation and at the end of the input from your pretend dream team, you'll make a decision. Should we go forward with this hog? Should we do this? Should we change the price? Whatever the thing is. In some cases, it'll be just step away. Okay? In some cases, it'll be, well, fuck, if I had thought of that, I would have stepped away from this hog earlier. Okay? I brought up something to the one of the other groups that probably they wouldn't have thought of. And I'm going to tell you, in fact, I told both groups, is this deal better off being in Ireland with inversion if the current tax structure in Ireland stays the same, which is like 20% max, and of course now Google's in trouble because they think that Google, or somebody says, Department of Justice, or somebody, or European Union says that they owe, tens of billions more in taxes. Well, should this deal be headquartered in Dublin? Most people wouldn't think of that. We've already talked about, do we want an exit fee? Do we? Where is this thing geographically located? Is it located in the right place for what they're trying to do? Do we have, is the general industry trend, you look on Google Trends, going back to the last 5 years, is the industry in the general area that makes sense? Or is it out of favor? I mean, are all the assets going to fall to shit like oil if what I think is going to happen with Aramco happens? I mean, are we wind up paying too much? And that's one of the reasons that big companies often buy things in tranches, is because the prices of their commodity may go down dramatically, so that at least they'll get a blended rate. Is it and so there's a lot of things that should be considered, not the least of which, there's debt service. If it's just commercial debt, is it covered by cash flow? The bigger the deals, the less likely that the debt service is going to be covered by cash flow. Is it likely that if it isn't covered by cash flow, that we can put a 10 or 20% bridge or mezzanine piece, as Vincent said, onto this? Or is this likely to fall into the hands of a private equity? Okay. The bigger the deal, the less likely your mom's going to be able to come up and sign for it, like I described you. The bigger the deal, the less likely your mom's going to be able to put up 100 or 200 grand. Okay. That's great, and I would rather see that happen than the deal pass by. But the bigger the deal, that's not an option. Although I think I told the seminar to the kids, I did step up for 82 million pounds many years ago, which is about 140 million bucks, which I didn't have cash. I'm scrambling around, and then at the last minute, somebody bought it off me by the grace of Allah, and I made 3,000 pounds, which is about $5,000 on on an 85 million pound transaction. I was happy. I would have done a deal for losing money, but the bigger the deal, the less likely that's going to happen. Now, in addition to that, I mean, I believe this is a bedpan deal, right? Okay, old Gits, which I won't say it's a no-brainer, but my generation doesn't want to die. But does my generation want to go to bedpans? I don't know about that, but that's when you're up there presenting, they're going to, because there's several bedpan people in the group. They're going to say, "Is it different in New Zealand? Mm-hmm. Is it different here?"
So we should cover demographics. So
yeah. I mean, you want all the information, the salient points, not every little detail. You want all the salient information that why this is a good deal. Okay, and that's if you decide that it's a good deal. If it's not a good deal, you want the information why. After further thought and further study, Jade and his group have decided, this dog isn't going to hunt. And that happens all the time. All the time. This is only the second hardcore. But I mean, it happened several times last year. Actually, last year, because it was over Christmas. Yeah. I mean, in this room, in fact, no, in that room, in the chapel, a deal that a guy had spent a year and a half on. Whether that happens or not, there's a lot of motivated sellers that have been that want to invest. A lot of motivated buyers now that want to invest dollars into the UK because they're getting 20% more bang for their buck. Mm-hmm. In fact, we're going to change the price of the seminar in the new year. I don't know if we're going to increase it 20%, but I mean, most of the people that come here aren't from Britain. So they're dollar invested. But don't feel obligated to agree with him that this is a good deal. It may or may not be. Okay, I have my own opinion, but we'll save that to the later. But it may or may not be. And when we get around to you and your your deal, whatever, I'm the chair of 3 of these deals. Look at it, okay? Which is fine. I didn't put you together for that reason, but I did because he's New Zealand based, yeah. You're US based, and you're US based, but you two are doing different deals in the US, right. Different medical type deals.